New Life Foundation has spent time developing and growing a sizable vegetable garden in order to feed its many residents, volunteers and staff. Along with developing the garden has come the need to establish sustainable and organic practices to maintain and nourish the crops. Lynn Stevens has been helping New Life to develop these sustainable practices, and she tells us how this works.
We need to keep feeding the soil because it takes time for that manure to mix in with the soil, for worms to start living in the soil, for microorganisms to be produced. We have got pigs and we've got chickens and they obviously produce manure, so we want to keep adding that. We also create compost with all the vegetable and the kitchen scraps. We mix them with the dried bamboo leaves that we sweep up all around the property. And mix those together with microorganisms that we make ourselves in big barrels.
ตัวนี้ปุ๊บมันจะเป็นน้ำหมักเชื้อราขาวแต่ผมเอาหัวเชื้อราขาวเนี่ยมาสกัดจากตัวนี้สกัดจากพวกกากผลไม้กากพืชหรือที่เราทิ้งอ่ะเป็นเศษทำเป็นปุ๋ยน้ำเป็นปุ๋ยน้ำเอามาหมักผสมหัวเชื้อราขาว
We produce microorganisms from things like steamed rice mixed with sugar, adding molasses to it and then leaving that in a barrel for a couple of weeks to create microorganisms. We also make them from a mixture of papaya, bananas and pumpkin. That we let ferment and then use the liquid of it we use, mixing it in with the compost, and that compost we then mix into the beds on a regular basis.
แล้วก็บีบเอาน้ำบีบน้ำแล้วเราต้องมาใส่ไปที่นู่นให้เก็บเลยคือเราไปใช้ได้ถ้าเป็นปุ๊บ2 ช้อนหรือ3 ช้อนต่อน้ำ10 ลิตร
We also spray, so when we water we have a sprinkler system, but every couple of days we try and water with a watering can and we add microorganisms to the water. On a bigger scale, where we've got the coconut trees and some of our fruit trees, we also add some of those microorganisms to the well so that the water can be used through the sprinkler system and can feed our plants and our trees. Pea, yes, that's something, it's a little project that we've started about 2 months ago that I'm quite excited about because it's kind of, pea comes free and we've got about 40 to 50 people here on a regular basis. Pea is naturally rich in nitrogen and the soil here is nitrogen deficient, so we try and collect our urine in a bucket near the pig's shed. And I add molasses to it, so it stops the urine from turning into ammonia, and it stops the smells as well. And every day I mix it with lots of water, and then I water our young fruit trees with it. So it doesn't come anywhere near the vegetable beds or vegetables that we would eat. It goes really around the roots of the young trees.
Along with the usual vegetables which are grown, there are also some diverse fruits and plants which have many and alternative uses.
This time of year we've got jackfruits. Jackfruit again is really useful because we can use it as a vegetable. The unripe fruit, we eat it in the kitchen. It's a dish called sup kanun, local Thai dish. And then when it ripens we will be eating the yellow flesh as a fruit. And you can boil the seeds and eat them. They taste a bit like a potato. So again, a really useful fruit that grows really easily around here. So this fruit is quite young, but this is the roselle fruit. And the outside bit is what you dry. And then you can make tea out of it. That is really sour. And that is full of vitamin C. It's really good for you. Nice with honey.
How does the process of sustainable living help the people who've come here for recovery from addiction or depression?
Well, living in harmony with nature is part of living mindfully. So I think the two go together really well. For some people, the garden can be very healing. If people really take to working with their hands in the soil, then that in itself can be very meditative and can be very healing. But even if they don't take to the garden that much, it really, being around a natural environment and living in harmony with that natural environment really calms the mind. We have our meditation hall right next to our vegetable plot, and it's just beautiful in the morning or the evening to just look out over the veg beds and see all that green. So yes, it just helps to calm the mind, really.